out. You gotta get it off your chest to take it out. Let's walk away with something that we didn't know before. Just give yourself a break today and take it out. So grab your snacks, let's have a chat and take it out. You gotta get it off your chest and take it out. Let's walk away with something that we didn't know before. Just give yourself a break today and take it out.
Hey y'all. Hey everybody. What's up, guys? We is back. I'm not a dude, but we are going. I'm not.
All right.
We are. We're gonna, keep it going with this Valor key chat. Tonight's gonna be a little bit of an interview style. I'm so sorry. I feel naked right now because I don't have my earrings on.
There you go.
I'm looking at myself like, ugh. So, praise God.
It's definitely not a dude. We get it now.
You didn't get it before?
Yeah, I got it.
Oh, okay. All right. Hi, Nia. Hi, Journey. Hi, Asia. Who else is in here?
Yurt.
What's up, y'all? What up? Ow.
What's up,
hey,
people?
Brian.
Yurt.
Yes, Asia. I don't feel complete without them. I used to have bigger ones. I gotta find some more.
First of all, Gabby, this your head wrap and this purple just put me in the mindset of pull the lever, Kron.
Pull the lever.
Pull the lever.
Now I want to change the color, you jerk.
Thank you, God.
We're going back to green. Jerk.
Oh,
yes, TechKeyz hat. All right, y'all. Well, we got 10 people. So
we have a storefront church tonight. It's okay. I'm with it.
15, 5 more. As people come in, please excuse the background. Yes, I am in my bed. Praise God.
It's okay.
It's all
right.
All right. So tonight we are going to, Amir is going to be talking about the struggles of being a man. And as you guys know, Mr. Markey, Jesus, will probably come in a little bit later. But we are going to get started. Hey, Kennedy. So yeah, the struggles of being a man. So Amir, talk to me about being a man and mental health not being taken seriously.
Sheesh. Listen, that's a mighty topic because it's really not taken seriously. And I would say within the Black community alone, it's not taken seriously at all. It's kind of hurtful because growing up, especially growing up in a church-based home, when I would go through things, it'd be like, oh, you'll be all right, just pray about it. And it's like some things need to be attached to the prayer. Therapy was always looked down upon. And thank God for my mother, who realized that my mental health wasn't where it needed to be, and she put me in therapy. But even, like I said, growing up like that, when my mom did it, it made me think that I was crazy. So my mom was like, we're going to take you to let you go to therapy and, just discuss some things with the therapist. And I'm like, so you think something wrong with me? And that was what was in my head. So I can only imagine if that's what I was going through, how many other young Black men were going through that, or just young men, period. You know what I'm saying? We're going through, but I can only speak for, the Black household. So I can only imagine how many young Black men went through not being able to go to therapy or not being able to talk about their situations. Or if
Yeah.
going to therapy thinking you're crazy because it was always looked down on. And that's literally how it was. Like the day my mom told me that I was going to therapy, I shut down simply because I thought that my mom was telling me that I was crazy
Mm.
because it was always such a negative
Yeah.
stigma attached to going to therapy. If you go to therapy, you crazy, you need help. And that's really what I thought. And to see it even now, it's like it's not taken as seriously. And I will even go as far as say it's not taken as seriously as women's mental health because it's like you're a man, get over it. You're a
Yeah.
man, you'll be fine. You're a man, toughen up. And it's
Yeah.
like, how if I don't know how?
Yeah. Facts. Facts. What about you, Mr. Markey?
Everybody already know I got issues. So, let's call a spade a spade. I got issues as it is. No, but what? Thank you, first of all. It's always a pleasure to see everybody, giving honor to God and the Bible study that always makes me late. But but what Amir is saying is exactly correct. I mean, a lot of y'all know we grew up with black folks. Black folks don't believe in talking. Black folks do not believe in whoop it away, pray it away, lock somebody in the bed. I don't even think we really know what function is because it was just like, don't be talking back. When a child could really be, or a person could really be just asking the question or doing things or saying some things that they just didn't know. I remember reading a statistic that a lot of the issues with even, I don't know how to say it, with like police coming up on situations, it was a lot of mental health, people attacking folks with weapons and stuff. It was really just them not being in their right mind in some different ways. Right. And so I think one of the newer things, and Jackie is really big on that, about getting mental health. And I've been actually looking at some of Gabrielle's things, of Gabby's stuff about mental health and things of that nature. And it's been very interesting. I commend you on that because people, it's actually exactly what, I'll turn this fan down. It's exactly what Amir was saying. It's a stigmata that thinks that if you need help, you're crazy. Yeah. Or I grew up with, I didn't think talking really changed anything. It's like, I don't want to say it like that, but it's just funny when you see, my pastor has been teaching us this. It's different when you see different cultures, and we'll say that different cultures approach different topics. Like, you know what? This is a really psychological one that got me. In our culture and in our community, having a child has always been a crazy thing. Unless you're married, or you're maybe at a different age, or maybe you're older in life and you might have had a child. But if you have a child anywhere, and we like, oh snap, here you go, your life is over. Yeah. It used to always blow my mind that when you see other cultures, they would be so happy. Oh, you're having a child? That's great. Oh, that's great. Outstanding. Let's make that work. Or blended families. Yeah. Black folks don't know nothing. I'm going to try not to do that. But our culture is very different on, like, I'm going to tell you the truth. I'm not going to say no names. I DJ, right? I'm DJing a party for the 4th of July. And this is how it goes. Hey, you might want to eat. If you hungry, eat something. Was that your stomach or was that the bathroom?
Oh God! No.
I'm like, you got some guts if you in the bathroom and doing this. I'm gonna be like, Gabby, you are the best. I've never seen anybody forget struggles of being a man in mental health. What's the struggles of having a host of the show in the bathroom? Go ahead with your bad self, girl. And I loves me some Gabby. I do. Gabby, we put Gabby to the screws, man. I'm thinking Gabby it'd be 2:00 in the morning. She'd be like, okay, y'all done, click. She'd be in her car coming home from the workout. Is y'all finished? Okay, click. It's like she gotta watch all these things. It's Tobago, or it's crazy. Lorenzo talking about cars, and it's crazy. So Gabby, I would understand if you had to say, you know what, I can't even go use the bathroom because I have to measure these shows and stuff. But that's just a little silliness. But to get back on the topic, it is very different And again, the main thing is really what Amir had spoke about. Tough it up. Like, or I hate this. I really have a problem when some ladies, especially when we were talking about last week about, dating and things of that nature, when they say, I really want you to tell me what's on your mind. I really want you to say. So then you come in the room and you like, you know what? Man, F this. This room's crazy. This house is crazy. You need to keep it clean. And I'm tired all the time when I come home. And then, like, oh my gosh, just toughen up. You're a man. You're like, wait a minute. Don't I get a moment to break down? Don't I get a chance to?
I've experienced something like that recently while I was at work. A young lady started arguing with a young man, and he went back at her, and she was like, well, you a B because only a B will argue back with a woman. And I was like, you started a whole argument with this man. Like, why do you have the mindset that you can say whatever you want to him and he just has to sit there and say yes, man? No. Now, I would advise you to take a step back and be like, I'm not going to enter into this situation because I'm not going to sit here and argue with you out because I'm not arguing with nobody. But I'm like, why is he considered a B? Because he defended himself, because you're coming at him loudly in front of everybody on this line and he's just supposed to look at you.
I think the double standard is way, it's just like, and I know some men, and I was a portion of this that get abused, whether it be verbally, whether it be physically. And, I am from the school of, I'll shake a woman, but that's probably about as close as I'll get. Like, just stop. Right. Just stop. But exactly. Man, I done got, well, it's just, okay, since it's just us. I done got a whole table turned over on me. I done had tables turned over on me. I done got slapped. I done got waterboarded. It's a whole, because I was just from the school of, just you don't hit a woman, and you just don't, and no matter what they do and whatever. And I'm not condoning any violence. Again, we're not condoning that, and I don't think anybody should have to put up with that, men or women. Right. But I'm just saying, and I like the topic of, and it kind of goes along with that a lot of different things that happen doesn't. Is not taken seriously. Like even to get really on bye Gabby, good to see you, sweetheart. You
made me hungry. Now I gotta
get Hey, look, this our family. If you gotta eat while you're on here, just eat. You want some ribs? I'm about to get ready for 4th of July. But it's serious. Like even with the young lady, the tennis player lady, I forgot her name. Only because of William. I think she's like Corday's girlfriend or something. But the young lady that was like, no, I'm not going to give any interviews while I'm doing this. Naomi Osaka?
Yes.
Thank you, sweetheart. Where she was like, yo, I'm not going to do this because I get a little, I get anxiety and I get that, you get these people in these big forums and if we're anxious and I'm on the phone talking to you, Amir, or I'm, talking to our lovely cohorts in this network, the Journeys, the Alexis's, the Azayas. I know I'm tearing y'all names up. Talila and Deja, everybody. Where Miss Strickland at? I know she got to be in there. She always in there. Miss Maxwell. To see all these lovely people here. But I know some people who go through some serious anxiety, serious anxiety. And I don't think, and I think I'm starting to pick up that different cultures view it differently. There's some people who, they will go, what up, Nia? There's some people that'll say, hey, I'm going to go get help in a minute. And then, you want to make jokes and crack jokes, but I'm still not 100% comfortable with talking. This is the closest that you're getting to talking to me, that outside of me, telling, like, if know me, like Amir, that's different. We talk, or Auntie, and I'm like, we called you up earlier this week, or we'll talk or something like that, or just, now I'm a family guy. I am a family guy. Like I will, and we all know who my favorite is I will talk to her all day, every day. But it's very hard for me to go, even going through this divorce and everything, and my son had to go talk to somebody. And I had to really change up my attitude about that, because at first I was just like, no, you don't need to go, but who knows what he's going through in his mind, and again, I think another thing too sometimes is parents, and I'm gonna bring it back to just being men, but the same thing about parents not understanding that their kids are going through stuff. You know, don't get me wrong. Yes, I mean, 16, 14, 15, 16, 17 is some crazy years. But understanding, and even heck, y'all 20s. The 20s is some crazy times. You're getting to understand yourself. You got some time. You got some freedom a little bit. You're trying to figure things out. It can get crazy. So, but I agree with Amir wholeheartedly that a lot of times they don't take men's mental health and just, I'm gonna say human health seriously. And I was so happy to see a lot of people support the Osaka young lady. I think the best one I saw was the one that Will Smith said when he was like, you know what? No, don't worry about them people. Sometimes you do need to just go in your room. You need to go in there, talk to people, be around people you care about, that can, I know if Amir called me and be like, yo, Renzo, you talked about some crazy stuff last night. I don't I know where it's coming from that. Right. But when you come on your comments and it's like, what are you talking about? You and Amir should be agreeing with each other. And like, it's a little bit too much. And it's like, where do we go from there as a nation, as a people, as a culture, as men? I think sometimes it's man. We said it before, I think in February, we're talking about the effeminate man, the rise of that, or not handling your emotions. And that, I think, is one of the biggest things that, and even church folks, even this, I saw somebody say it earlier, pray it away, look, and I'm gonna go there, somebody that might live an alternative lifestyle, and again, still trying. I'm not talking about a person that's just like, I'm doing this and I'm doing whatever that is. Right, and that could be, and I'm not talking about alternate. I'm talking about if you just want to have, you still have a little streets in you, and you're just living that type of lifestyle, and you're trying to become whatever God wants you to become. It takes time. I think people forget that there's time to develop. Absolutely. We have to develop as people. We have to develop as Christians. We have to develop as persons, as men and as women. We go through different. I mean, if I look back at 20-year-old me compared to 45-year-old me,
it's a total difference.
Huh? Even 16 or 17-year-old me compared to 20-year-old me, it's like, whoa. I mean, I remember I think, was it 25? I think was it when I turned 25 in the year 2000 or something like that. Like, I'm thinking of that. Like, I remember they thought the world was going to die. We thought the world was going to die in 2K. We was just like, what? The computers, they don't know. And it was a couple of glitches. And then now we come back to a pandemic that shut the world down. So, and again, that's another thing. Let me ask you this, Amir. How did being in, and I'm talking about it, being a man as well, dealing with the pandemic, how did you, because I know you're a very social guy. I'm not probably as social as you, but I know you're a very social person in the sense, well, at least you portray that to me. To me, it seems like you talk to a lot of people, and you are a very outgoing guy. But was that some of the struggles or some of the different things that you had to deal with in even being a man and dealing with your mental health during these pandemic times?
Yeah, I believe so, simply because sometimes with your mental health and with it being, at its height, social interaction is necessary. And sometimes I feel like with that not being, a thing anymore, with everything being virtual, everything being over the internet, all of that, it can be kind of difficult, because sometimes you just need to sit in an outdoor space or something like that and just talk and just walk or just talk about something. But when everything is so confined, now all you have is just time in your head. So all you have is just to sit there and just overthink and keep going. And that can sometimes be strenuous, because you feel like you don't have an outlet now that you are stuck in the middle of a pandemic. You don't have an outlet because you can't go outside, you can't do this, you can't call on your homies or nothing like that, because they trying to figure things out themselves. Now everybody is just in their head. So I think this pandemic has really heightened stress levels and heightened, the downfall of mental health, because it's like you don't have anything. Right.
You're left to your own devices.
Absolutely.
And you're definitely left to your own devices. And I was reading what Miss Foster said, and she said that my dad was just talking to me about that, and it's worse for a Black culture, but men especially. He said, his girls should have seen therapists earlier after losing our mom early in life. And there's a lot of people like that lost parents or lost situations. And they just didn't really, I'm going to tell you from a parent, we don't get it right. If you think as parents, we don't sit back and say, man, I jacked them kids up. Like, there's some nights when I wake up and I just be like, how could I have said, I'll probably said some crazy, no, you can't go outside. Why? I did everything I was supposed to do. Why can't I go outside? Because I'm tired and I don't feel like taking you.
Right.
That ain't nothing to do with me. It's like, but as a parent, there are times, especially, like I said, a lot of you guys know that, I lost my son, my oldest son. We don't look, we're still human beings. I think we forget that, we live in a microwave society. We live in a situation where things come so quickly and they can come so swiftly. And there's no thought that, we can do it, but should we do it? I could, I could, and I don't want to always take it to sex or anything, but I could be that type of guy that's foop, but should I do that? I could talk to anybody. And then that's another thing. Who are you talking to? Sometimes you get out there with those people, and I see it all the time. And that's what really scares me about these kids nowadays being on and being in some of these chat rooms and things of that nature of, you're right. You're right. Your parents are wrong, or, your uncle's wrong, or your big brother is wrong. And I'm like, you don't know the situation. You don't know that Sally has a propensity to just, want to stay out to 4:00 in the morning. It's like all of these different things all go into, I think at least, mental health in the sense of what Amir was saying earlier, how we're in a pandemic. You have no outlet. Like I was totally a big movie guy. I worked at a Blockbuster for years. I was that guy, you can come in there and be like, Amir comes around the corner and shoots 5 people. Oh, that's Saving Private Ryan. That was type of me. And then to go to a pandemic to where you can't go to the movies, to where, I used to like to go out. Those, it's maybe kind of boring, but those are the 2 things that I used to do a lot. Or even coach. Like I used to coach the kiddos. And I love that. And I'm that weighed heavy on me, and then, like we said, dating, we talked about those things, last week, but, and I think that it's not taken serious enough. I really think that that's a very good point you brought out, Amir. And I want everybody to know that a lot of these topics that we've come up with this, I'm about to say this semester, a lot of the topics that we've come up in Psychology 101 this semester, this year, I really want to give Amir I'm serious. I am totally in praise of a believer in definitely encouraging, praising. Amir is really taking this month on head on with a lot of things that we've going. So a lot of these topics are a lot of Amir and a lot of the other gentlemen as well. But these are a lot of this is, and I don't mean it this way, but it's Amir's show and he's doing it, and we're just supporting as much as we can because again, this is a good guy, and I'm very honored and appreciative to be able to speak with them and to be able to interview them in some ways. And maybe that's something that we should do too, where we just interview them and learn some more about them. But the struggles of being a man in mental health, not being taken serious. I just think it's something that we don't do it. Y'all came heavy this month. Miss Foster said we came heavy. Well, I think what it is I think that we all know that this is a female heavy network. And I don't think you guys really get a chance to see guys talk. To really just, I was really enamored at the last week when William decided to come. Like he's out playing basketball now, but I was really enamored when he came in and we were able to kind of chop it up. And it's funny because it's what I call the bartender syndrome. If you ever notice how people can walk in a bar and just see a bartender and just talk and tell them their life story, their entire life story. And you be like, I was sleeping with 5 women and my wife came in on 2 of us. And I'm like, what? But I've talked to some people and they said, well, what it is 1, I'll never meet this person again, probably. 2, they totally come from a different standpoint of what I'm even used to. And let's be truthful. A lot of us lie to ourselves. And what I mean by is you keep going to the same people. Like I'm going to keep going to Miss Strickland. I'm going to keep going to Miss Foster. I'm going to keep going to See It. and they are all gonna tell me the same kind of thing. Even in their and I don't mean this, ladies. I'm just using y'all just as names I know. So please don't take it personal. I'm not saying it, but I'm just using them as just names I know because we all talk this at night. But you might go to the same person that might give you the same type of influences, and then seeing that new person. So I think a lot of times it's not that we want to be heavy. I just think that a lot of times we get here and we can be free and just us talk, and it just happens to be that y'all are kind of chiming in at the same point. And it does go to the level of respect that I have for Amir, because like I said, again, I'm a lot, maybe and I say it a lot, but I don't mean it in a bad way. But me being 20-year senior and listening to you, these gentlemen, and listening to you ladies have some insight about different things, it really opens my mind. It kind of keeps me young and keeps me thinking about some different things as I kind of re-enter this whole single life and things of that nature. But what was the other topic we got? What was the next one?
Where's Gab at?
I think I got it.
Yeah, I'm about to say the next one is heavy. I know Gab was going to change the title, but the next one is a little heavier.
Okay.
But the next one is talking about
the assault.
Yes.
Okay. So yes. Okay. So let's preface this real quick. We'll give a little disclaimer. Of course, we're not doctors or by any means of the thing. We're not experts in this at all. This is just something that we decided to talk about because it's kind of near and dear to me because it's happened to me a couple times. I'm sure Amir will have some insight as well. But we are talking about sexual assault and harassment not being taken seriously. And maybe, thank you, Gabby, and probably from the male's point of view. To just give you one of the insights with me, I think when I was in the service, and like I said, you guys kind of know my story. I've really only been with and I'll be blunt, and then we'll just move on. But I've only had intercourse with 3 women. The third one will be my wife, or my wife at the time, and now that we're divorced. So that's my whole kit and caboodle of that, and I talk about it, so I'm not embarrassed or anything about it. But I've been routinely said that I was gay because I just didn't want to, mess with somebody. I've been routinely, I've been propositioned in different ways and in different situations. I want to say my first time, I would say it was, and I'm laughing about it, but it's not. It was more forced than it was. I'll just tell you the story, and you can take it from there. But it's something that I thought about a long time ago. I was 17, and I was in high school, and I tend to like older women, and so I was talking to this 21-year-old. And again, with her having more freedom, we would meet up at her house and whatever, talk, hang out, and of course we would inevitably I guess make out. We didn't go that far yet, and so she was like, "Look, you're not gonna keep coming over here getting me all worked up, and then you just roll out." And I was like, "Yeah, whatever. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna deal with whatever I give you. You know what I'm saying? Deal with it, girl." I was 17. You couldn't tell me nothing. So, so again, of course, another night came up, and we get into a hot and heavy session, as we'll say, and I fall asleep. I'm like, yeah, whatever. Of course, because I was still trying to live that life of the good book, and I didn't want to do it at that point, so I fell asleep. So all I'm going to say is this: is when I woke up, it was on the popping. Let's just say that. So it really wasn't like there was any consent or it was just happening. It was just kind of like I was up and things were going. Let's just say things were happening. So I've always thought about that as like that. But what I am seeing now is there's a lot of men. I think women are a lot more aggressive with men now, and I think they may. And I would like some of you ladies to chime in if you guys
most definitely
if you think that's right, because like I said, I've been propositioned a lot of ways, and I work in a plant, so that's a little bit different too. That's a whole other story. But I didn't have it straight up. Like I said, I've told this story at least to Amir. I was like, where this is young lady that I work with, and I'm just like, hey, how you doing? How's your, what you gonna do this weekend? And it'll be like, I'm trying to do you, but you don't want to give it up. I'm just like, hey, wait, I'm not a piece of meat. You know what I'm saying? So, I think men have those feelings. And Amir, what about you? Have you had these type of pictures?
I definitely have, and I thank you for sharing that because that's literally like what this topic means. Because it was like you said, the first time that has happened to you, it was not consensual. You know what I'm saying? Like you were literally asleep, and I feel like it's not taken seriously when it's us because when we have an issue with that, it's like, oh well, what's wrong with you? You ain't like it. What's wrong with you? You gay? What's up? And it's
Yep.
always that's always the questions behind it. Never are you okay? Because I feel like if the roles were reversed, and this is not victim shaming or nothing, so guys, please don't take this the wrong way. But if the roles were reversed, that dude would be in jail. But when it comes to the female, it's like, what's wrong? What? You ain't like it? And I think that has happened, and I hear that so much, especially with my generation. I hear it so much that like men it's kind of like a pride thing. Like they're happy about it, and it's like, but they're not really happy because they don't understand. Like so many guys be like, have said, "Oh yeah, I did this with my babysitter, and I've done this with like this has
Yeah.
happened," and that's like that's not okay.
It's not.
Like that's not a thing. But it's like as with females, it's a trauma. But with males, it's a badge of honor, and it's not okay.
It's not.
It's not okay, and that definitely needs to be expressed and explained to where you can feel okay to say this babysitter touched me, this cousin did this. You know what I'm saying? Because
Right.
it's much deeper, and it brings on so much mental trauma because you don't understand how to express what happened to you
Right.
because they make the man feel like, oh, you like if you go to the barbershop. Oh yeah, I did this with oh my babysitter did this. She showed me her breast. Yeah?
Yeah.
Really?
Right. Yep. Man,
That
what's up,
that
man? That's what I'm talking about.
exactly.
Instead of
That's
saying,
not
dude, I
okay.
was 10. I was 10 when that happened. You know,
She
like
was 30, I was 10. That's
10.
not okay.
Right. Nobody's gonna address the fact that I was 10. You know, like it's like it's wow, that's a very heavy.
That's why I said for young ladies, and I hate that even happens to anybody. But with young ladies, it's a trauma, and it's expressed and it's explained that this is not okay. But with our young men, it is a badge of honor. It is oh yeah, oh you getting them young. Go ahead, young boy. It's
Right.
not okay.
I
It's not
think that
okay.
it's just not okay. And like I said, I had to grow up and understand, even dealing with my two boys. Yeah, my two boys before Tay passed. And like Tay, like I got that call. You know, I got that call. I'm at the plant, and somebody's mom called because she
Hmm.
walked in on Tay and her daughter.
Hmm.
And I will even say, and I will even say, Angel said, "What we talking about?" Angel, what we're talking about, Angel, is we're talking about kind of sexual harassment, and men being men being sexually assaulted, men being harassed, men being pushed to a brink maybe, and then
Hmm.
called out because we don't want to. Like, is it so wrong that I don't want to sleep with a woman? Is it so wrong for me to say, hey, I really want to? I want to be patient, and I'm gonna give you this too.
Absolutely.
I'm gonna give you this too. Again, this is where the age will come in. When I was growing up, that was the fantasy of the year. That was the fantasy of the year to have a fine teacher come and talk to you in high school, and then
Yes.
yep. So because of what I'm like, what? So I went to high school in '90. I think I graduated in '93. So '89 to '93. And then, so in the early 80s, and I think that the lady, that one, and I hate to say it this way, but that one white lady that was with that Latino brother, it was the one that really blew up. I can't remember, like, Mary Kay Letourneau or something like that. I know I'm saying it wrong, but it was something. But anyway, she was messing with him when he was like 13. And that was like the ultimate fantasy. And now, like my son, like William came home and was like, yo, Dad, it is a lot of dudes, this 18-year-old dudes messing with like these para teachers, like the teachers that are like 18, 19, trying to figure out what they want to do with school. And they be slipping on the slide. And I was like, you lying, William, you lying. He was like, Dad, watch. And one of his boys showed him the text message of the teacher. And it was like, you can come over here. I'm like, whoa. So, I mean, I'm not saying it to, and I hope I'm not, all right, wait a minute. Let me stop being surprised. I'm not glamorizing it. I'm not trying to glamorize it. I'm not trying to do it. It's shocking because it's happening more often. And I think because, I don't know if it's because the pickings are slim, and in both sides, if you ask me, but a lot of women are becoming a lot more aggressive. Or what I say too is this: I don't need a man syndrome, where I think that's just as dangerous in some ways as even men saying, "Well, I don't need a woman." You know, it's a lot of that continued. Ms. Foster says that continued well into the 90s and the early thousands. I thought it was weird, like even for women messing with teacher age people or staff, right? And it's different. You know, it's even different now. Or I'll get double standard. It's okay for an older man to be with a younger woman, but if an older woman, like the whole cougar thing now, you know, the cougars out there, like, now I like older women, but don't get me wrong, there's some beautiful women out there, but I don't think it should be a stigma. If they like younger men, and that's what works for them, that what works for them. But I don't think, and this is to get back, I guess, let's get back on topic, but I just don't think that people think that men get harassed. Like, can men be raped? I think so. Can men be harassed? You know, like in the sense of where, I mean, like think about it, like that guy that really works out. He works out and he goes in and all the girls are oogling him. I mean, like some guys might not like that, you know, or every time they talk and they want to touch on them and or they want to, you know, I know some ladies, like I done seen y'all when y'all walk past and y'all might be wearing them spandex and every guy's looking at y'all and y'all like, well, I should be able to wear what I want to wear. But at the same token, do you need to be wearing that in the business office? You know, these type of situations come up. But, you know, ladies, I guess I want to hear from you guys in the sense, like, do you guys think that harassment is a serious thing, that men could be harassed seriously? I don't know what that look was.
My mama making too much noise. I'm so sorry.
I love your mother. She is so pretty.
Oh my God.
But those are things that I don't think a lot of women really get to under. So how do you all handle these forward women or these encounters? Okay, so in the plant, I just kind of, a lot of times I laugh it off, or like I'm gonna give you another one that, and again, and I would say any man that really is living the lifestyle. So I'm pretty sure this has had to happen to Amir too. I've gotten this. I've been told this. Like one girl that I'm kind of cool with pulled me to the side and she was like, "Do you know you're a target?" And I'm like, "What do you mean I'm a target?" And they were like, there's a pool to want to flower you. And I was like, wait a second, what do you mean? So, and let me explain it to you. And again, first of all, I am not, okay, y'all don't even know. I can't even get out the bed half the time. My knees hurt. If you talk to William, he says y'all don't see my gut. You see all this gray hair. I am not that attractive. Okay, so I'm not trying to pull this off like I'm just some piece. But I think what it is it is the enamorment of I'm untouchable, in the sense of I don't put it out there that I'm trying to, get out there. So there are certain people that will just try to talk to me just to see if they can get me, just so they can bed me. I mean, I hate to say it that way. And I think a lot of men who live a Christian lifestyle have encountered that. Amir, have you encountered that as well?
Most definitely. I was, especially recently being at the type of job that I work at. Since I work in the warehouse, there has been situations where I have been having a conversation with someone else, and a young lady came up to me and was like, "I'm trying to see what's up," and I'm like, and I'm not even gonna lie, I was like, "What's up?" And
oh, you still a man. Hold on, let me still a man.
It definitely was a moment of weakness, but I'm like, what's up? And it was like, well, it was the forwardness that unattracted me. Because I'm like, I said, if you're this willing to go this far this quickly, I'm not the only one.
Exactly.
So I'll pass before I have to be sitting in the doctor's office. So, it's. I think when you have a certain mindset, it's easier to be like, because right. Like you said, walking the Christian life. It's like Kendra taught in Bible study the other week, which was amazing. And Kendra said something. She said, "Listen, first of all, I'm not going to hell. Period. I'm not going to hell for anybody else. I'm not going to hell for myself. But if I'm planning on going to hell, I'm gonna do something that I enjoy.
That's
If
terrible.
I don't think that I'm gonna enjoy this, it's not worth it. So it's just a little humor. But seriously, I've been on this walk for a long time. I'm not about to throw off my walk for this. And I said it before in February. What good is pleasure if it only ends in regret? It's
You saying it? You know our motto. It's only three things that happen, and it's somebody else. It's only three. It's only. I mean, okay. Here we go. So if there's any kids on here, I'm gonna get vulgar for one quick second. Okay. So if you're parents, I hope I don't offend you guys, but I'm just gonna hit it and then I'm gonna leave it alone. But again, I'm talking about the moment you come, the moment you climax. There's really only three thoughts you have. I want to do it again. I shouldn't have did it, or I gotta go. I'm telling you, if you boil it down, it's one of them three. Like, man, I shouldn't have did that. This girl gonna be clinging on me, blah, blah, blah. Or you know what, man, I want to do that again because I'm not gonna act like you don't have that feeling as well. Mm-hmm. Or it's just like you feel guilty. You feel this uncontrollable guilt. And I did not only not sleep with three women in my life because I didn't want to. I could have. Mm-hmm. It was just that I hated that feeling. I hated that feeling afterward. That you'd be like, whoa, it's like, man, it's like, and again, I don't want to say it that way. I'm gonna just say this: my stuff, my member is precious. I ain't trying to just give it to everybody. And I'm gonna say this too: ladies who've been single for a while. Men who've been single for a while, once you go without it for a significant period of time, when you can say like I said, I was married and things were getting rough. So it's really been, like I said, I'm gonna be real with y'all. So what? This is the 21. It's probably been 6 or 7 years. I mean, like I'm talking about 6 or 7 years from actually, doing stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like maybe making out. I mean, if I had to be 100% honest, like right after I got divorced, it was this little lady but we made out and stuff like that. But as in actually getting down, whatever, it's been 7 or 8 years. You get kind of used to that lifestyle of not, especially if there ain't no prospects. I've said this before. If it ain't no prospects and if it is nobody that you're willing, and then again, also prefacing this by if you're living a holy lifestyle, you want to be holy and acceptable. Again, that's what we're talking about. But if you really want to live, and again, and I'm gonna tell you, like I'm gonna be real, I got the snip, so I can go up here and lace it up, whatever. I ain't got to worry about nothing happening if I wanted to. You know what I'm saying? I got cut on. Yeah, let's just say it. For the married folks that understand what I'm talking about, I done got cut on. So if I really wanted to be stupid and just didn't care, I ain't got to worry about no kiddos coming out. That's it. I had my 3, I'm done. So I'm just. I know we get that way, but I really want, and okay, so that's it. I'm not going to get no more vulgarness, but what I'm saying is it's not that as men, we don't have choices. I think that's what really trips me out is as men, when we say that, then y'all look at us differently. It's just like like I said, when we have emotions and we coming in there and we like, baby, it was rough. We had a rough day. And I'm not saying I want this woman to be like, okay, I'm going to pick you up and take you. But I mean, maybe just like, hey, baby, we got it. Don't worry about, like whatever. And I think Chantel says, that's right. Say that. But seriously, it's precious and everybody don't deserve your precious. And I'm saying the same thing for the ladies.
That's it, Chantel.
I'm saying the same things for the ladies. Y'all stuff is precious. Don't everybody need to be seeing it and whatever in it and whatever. I mean, let's just be real. We are a peculiar people, regardless of if you want to live. Again, we promote the Christian lifestyle. That's what a lot of us live by. But we're just saying, just in general, abstinence, I think, is better because that. And okay, we talked about that last time too. But that soul tie is a beast. That soul tie is a beast, man. I mean, that soul tie is when you wake up, man. I'm telling you, like, I'm gonna hit this one spot. That soul ties. I'm talking about when I was about to say something. I was about to use that N-word. I was about to say, when that person done did you dirty. I'm talking about like dirt, like you done found their phone and this something or other done had somebody else got pictures of what they done did and then came back and tried to love on you, or if they did love on you and you found out later, and I mean, just being a dog, and then you let them go, and then about 8 o'clock at night, you sitting there in your house all by yourself, and you just like you like, man, let me just call them. Let me just.
Yep.
Maybe they changed. Maybe they changed. Maybe they've gotten better. Maybe I can forgive them. And and I mean, these people dirty. I mean, dirty. I mean, in your car, in your house. I mean, you know what I'm saying? They done did you dirty, and you still go. And you still. I mean, you know what I'm saying? The audacity. When you think about that person that did you wrong. Like, just for 2 seconds. I mean, I'm talking about the dirtiest dirt that you. I mean, and I got some bad ones, but I mean, just think about that person, and then your body still be like, I'd let him come through. You know what I'm saying? You no, wait a minute, no, I wouldn't. Yeah, you would. You'd be caught. It'd be 2 o'clock in the morning. You'd be like, 2, 3, 4. No, shit. Go to sleep, Lorenzo. Go to sleep. I mean, that soul tie is a beast. And again, we make light of it, but we're serious about the same thing too. And it all goes with that harassment, because again, and I say this, why would I want to learn about that 1% of you when I could take my time and learn the 99% of you? And I'm more selective now. I'm a little bit more selective now.
Mm-hmm.
But to even answer some of your questions, again, a lot of it is I don't put myself in situations where I know I'm going to act stupid. I really don't. I probably have too many rules. To answer your question, Kari, about how do we deal with them situations, I probably put too many rules. I'm gonna even go as far as I hate this.
That's true.
I hate this. I really do. I'm telling you something that is really hurtful to me, because it hurts me even just about to say it. But I hate that soul tie. I judge them against my ex. I really do. Sometimes, because my ex was I ain't gonna do that. I'm not gonna do that. I'm just gonna say I do that. I have some preconceived notions that, especially when you were married or you were in a steady relationship. I mean, I was married for 17 years. This wasn't like 7 years, 5 years.
Right.
3 kids, a couple of houses, car
been
notes,
through some stuff, man.
bankruptcy, life, jobs, everything. And so a lot of times we do that. And again, mental health. That's probably, I probably need to sit and talk to somebody and kind of get through that. But I'm not gonna kid you and lie to you and tell you I don't have some nights when that king size bed is real lonely. And it's not like I can't call a couple of people and have some nice nasty conversations with if I just wanted to get through the night. So everything comes with the price. Everything comes with the price. But the peace that I enjoy now cannot be outweighed from dealing with certain situations that you don't do, and I'm just gonna leave it like that. But the same thing is, and then I like even what Amir was saying about what Kendra said. At some point, you got to get settled with your walk. You're right, Miss Kari. I mean, you got to get settled with that walk.
Absolutely.
Okay? I mean, I get it. I don't care if you're 20, if you're 7, if you're 8, you're 57, you're 92. You got to get settled with. There's like paying your tithes. And I'm just going to say that. That's just something that you got to just say, I'm doing it regardless. I'm doing it regardless. I'm going to pay how's that work? You're in the military, you got to pay it once a month, pay it once a month. If you got to save it all the way up and do it. If you get paid bi-weekly, whatever, you get paid once a year, do it however you, but that's just something you got to set in your mind, and you say, God is going to bless me because I'm doing that. Not about, and I ain't no preaching. I ain't trying to get y'all to give to y'all. I don't care if you give to a church or not. I'm just telling you, I've seen my life change when I've decided to just certain things that I settled in my spirit that I'm going to just not going to do. And when you walk that walk, when you just say, I'm not going to sin, there's no reason for me to lie anymore. Like why do I need to lie to somebody? But that doesn't give me a right to be mean. And we said that before too.
Absolutely.
So, that's kind of sexual harassment. What's the next one? Because I know we're getting on our time here. Again, great points tonight. Great point tonight. I think the third one is being told to toughen up instead of expressing true emotions. And that ties into both the previous topics. Yep. So it's a little bit of both because we kind of touched on it too. So I mean, like, what do you think, Amir? Like, what? How does that work for you? being told to toughen up. Does that do you? I mean, like, expound on that a little bit, sir.
Yeah, I think that's kind of dangerous to tell young men, because now this is why we don't know how to handle our emotions. This is why we don't express that we've been sexually assaulted, sexually harassed, because it's like, you're a man, that's supposed to happen. You're a man, you can deal with it.
Right.
And it's like, you don't necessarily understand how to express that. This made me feel uncomfortable. This hurts. This doesn't make me feel good, because growing up, you've been told, you fall, you scrape your knee. That crap hurts. You have an open wound, but it's you, a man. He a boy. Get up. He'll be all right. Shake it off. You'll be all right. And it's like, now we have grown into that shake it off, that you'll be all right, that he'll be all right. So where we don't fully express, this hurts. You see in social media now, and I hate that that's what we have to go based off. But you see in
Right.
social media now that a female goes through a breakup, and they like, oh, this is how girls go through breakups, and it's like sad songs, and it's crying on the window, and it's like how boys go through breakups, and it's like you over there partying. That's not true. That crap hurts us just as well. But because we've been trained to not express it, you'll never know that we're over there crying just as hard as you are,
Exactly.
because
And
we've been taught to just make you think that we said F you while you're crying.
right.
So and I think that's really what it boils down to. It really has to do with upbringing. Like I said, we've been taught to, you know, um, don't cry, hold your emotions in, don't say this, don't say that. And it's been very difficult growing up having that, hearing that constantly and consistently, because now it's just like, how am I going to go on? Like, how am I going to express this without being made a joke? Because I feel like sometimes young ladies don't take it seriously, because we fear that when we say something, it's not going to be taken seriously. So it's like, why say it anyway? You know what I'm saying? Gab, where are you? Because I think Marky went out. Gabrielle! See, yeah, Marky definitely went out. Are you in the kitchen? Praise God. Gab, do you have anything on that topic?
Hold on. Let me turn off my TikTok. 1 second.
Not TikTok. Yeah, but that's let me see. Y'all got it bad. I'm reading Kari's comment. You got it bad with your emotions, especially in the black community, especially certain generations. And absolutely, absolutely. It's scary, because growing up, like I said, growing up literally from a kid, you're taught, if you fall, get up, shake it off. You'll be fine. As to where, and that's even me. I'll speak to me as being an uncle. If my nephew falls, it's like he can bust his head to the white meat, and I'll be like, you know what? He's fine. He'll be good. If my niece even breathes the wrong way, I'm like, oh my God, are you okay? What's happening?
No, she's fine.
See, okay, no, that's Gabby, because Gabby's tough. Keep your mouth off Logan. But um, but that's just the way how it is in the black community. It's like the boys will be fine, you know. And now growing up, now I'm screwed up in the head, because I don't know how to say I'm not fine. Like, this hurts.
Are we no longer talking about the sexual assault?
No, Gabriel,
Sorry.
you missed out on that much watching TikTok. Praise God.
I got
No,
a
but
business call and I had to take that.
you have me a business call. No, but that's just what it is. That's just how it gets. It's just how it gets. It's a scary thing. It's a dangerous playing field, because you never know to how to react to things, how to respond without people calling you a bench or whatnot. But yeah, that's pretty much sums that that up. Gabby, stop staring.
Stop what?
Staring into space looking like Tweeter.
So y'all ready for the next one?
Yeah, bro. Yes.
Okay. I'm back.
I'm back right on time, bro.
Right on time.
I'm back. Yay. Gabby, I like that cup. You know why I love Gabby? You know why I love Gabby? Because every time we see Gabby, she's like in a different setting. It's almost like she's got a green room. She's like, boom, boom. She comes back, she's in her room. Hi, everybody. Hi. And then like, boom, come back.
She definitely does. Gabby has the smoothest transitions ever.
I'm telling you, man. Gabby, I'm telling you, man. If you wasn't who you was, I'd have to come over here and try to talk to you. Because any woman that know how to eat is okay with me. I'm just not trying to get killed by your daddy.
I mean, he's blocked anyway on my phone, so.
Oh, man. And here we go. What a wonderful segue into the stigma of fatherless black men and women.
Praise God.
Yeah, we're doing Angel. Praise God.
Praise God.
Praise God.
I do have to do a scene change because my computer's about to die, so just.
Okay.
All right. Let's go. Transition again. Hey, she should come back and she should be like in the stars, like on Star Wars.
She's gonna pop up at church.
Right, she'll pop at church. We're like, where's she at? I'm at the back. We're having a revival. Are all y'all good? Okay, click.
Exactly.
Then she'll pop out. I love that young lady. But
that definitely was a good segue because
that is a good segue.
I mean, I can you already know I can definitely speak to the stigma of fatherless black men because I am a fatherless black man, and growing up, my dad he was there, but at the same time he wasn't, and he wasn't as present for me as he was my other siblings, and then.
How does that make you feel? I don't want to stop you real quick.
No. Good. It's a good interview. It sucks. It sucks, especially when I grew up around the friends that I used to have. All had fathers, and they all had present fathers.
Wow.
So it was hard when I would go out with my best friend for his birthday, and his dad would take us out.
Right.
And it's like I've never had that. You know what I'm saying? I've never had the type of father that I'm not going to say my father didn't want to deal with me, but I'll say it like this. My father didn't want to deal with me, let alone deal with a group of friends.
Mm-hmm.
So it was like when that type of stuff would happen, I'm like, this is fun, but like, dang, like you can really run to your dad and have fun with your dad. I can't do that.
Right.
And it hurt. But going back to the topic before, I couldn't express that because I was always taught to let it go. You're a man. Deal with it. So I couldn't express that. I want my father's love.
Do you think if you had been able to express that, you would be able? I don't want to say. Okay, let me just say this: would you have been able to experience that time in your life differently?
I believe so.
Okay.
I believe so. I believe if I would have expressed that, even before my father passed, because that's really what I wanted. And when my dad passed, it was kind of crazy because I didn't really deal with it properly because it wasn't that I didn't care, but that was the attitude I gave off. Like literally, when the day my father passed, I literally told my cousin, I said, because my mom was coming home she had just got her certificate or something from school, and we were driving in the car, and I remember she got a call, and she started screaming and crying, and I'm like, what the heck is going on? I got to my grandparents' house, and I told my cousin, I said, it's either my uncle or my dad. I don't know which one it is, but that's what's going on. And when my grandfather called me outside, and he let me know that my father passed away, I cried for, I would say, if even 10 seconds, and then just was like, okay. And
Wow.
when I got back in the house, I told my cousin, I said, it was my dad. And she was like, Mir, how do you feel? I was like, I knew it, so I mean, I don't know
This is
how to
a
feel.
question. We got another question for you. Were
Hmm.
you angry? Were you angry with him or the siblings?
No, I wasn't angry. I was confused.
Okay.
Like I've never had anger nor animosity towards my siblings ever because they didn't do anything. It wasn't
Okay.
them,
Okay. Yeah, I see how
you
you.
know.
Okay. Yeah,
So
that makes sense.
it was yeah. It was a choice on his end. So it was just like I was I was just confused. And as a kid, I didn't understand confusion. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, I didn't know what I was feeling. I just was like, it was weird to the point where I didn't want to go over unless I was going over with my stepmom or to hang with my siblings or
Right.
her family. I didn't want to go over, and I didn't understand that as a kid. I thought that was
Wow.
normal.
Wow. That's man. I appreciate you for sharing that. That was deep.
Absolutely.
Now, Miss Foster, you gonna start asking these questions, and you gonna start me crying. I'm not about to. Oh, I'm about to cry up in this piece, okay? Because it's very. I'm telling you, this is how I be knowing sometimes these talks be God centered.
Absolutely, bro.
Okay, so I'm gonna answer your question. Okay, so Miss Foster has two serious questions. She said, so this is for Lorenzo. My daddy fought to stay in our lives as young girls, lightly touch what I'm saying. My mom's family is a little off in some ways. Okay. And then she asked the question, so you being a single father, how did that work for you to be present with your son after divorce?
Wow.
Okay. All right. Well, all right. All right. So I have three children. As you guys know, my oldest son passed away. I have William lives with me. He's 16. And my daughter, who is 11 and will be 12 this year, lives with my ex and does not want to see me. It's been about a year since I've actually laid eyes on my daughter. And I'm just going to leave it at that because I'm not going to put shade on any side.
Absolutely.
I made the choice that I don't think 11-year-olds should have to choose if they didn't understand certain things. Let's just say that. We had a brief conversation when things started deteriorating, and she felt, my daughter, that I should have stayed, kind of toughened it up, stuck it out, just deal with whatever I'm dealing with.
Mm-hmm.
And that didn't work out. And so she was upset. And so then I did go through the courts and do what I was supposed to do. I do take care of child support. I do that. But I didn't want to. Well, what happened was this. Shucks. All right. I mean, I'm gonna tell y'all. My daughter came over for a visit. When I finally was able to visit, we'll just put it that way.
Mm-hmm.
And when she came over, it was in the height of the pandemic, so we really couldn't do anything. We couldn't do anything. So I picked her up. We drove around, and then we went and got takeout. That was when you still couldn't even eat in restaurants. So I picked her up. We drove around. We got takeout, and then we kind of sat around. We tried to sit in the park and stuff. The parks was closed. Like, do y'all remember that? Like, they had tape all around parks. You couldn't go anywhere. So we were sitting in the car, and we were eating, and then my daughter just got into, you know how they get. Oh, I want you up. There we go.
Mm-hmm.
And just not saying nothing. So, and I'm gonna tell you, and this is another thing about men. This is a great topic too. It's another portion about men, fathers, and everything. She crushed me. I think I told Amir this story. So she crushed me. I said, Zoe, you're in your phone, like you don't want to talk. And I said, Zoe, you know what? Do you really want to spend some time with me? And straight to my face, and my daughter has always been this way. She says, no, I don't want to spend time with you. I really don't. She's like, I'm really only doing this because mom told me to. But I don't want to spend any time with you. So now I'm 45 and that's an 11-year-old. And I promise you I was about to like cry. But I'm an adult. I have to deal with that. It's time to put on your big boy pants and your big girl pants and your big boy pants. And again, I'll even bring this into the fatherless thing in a second. But to answer your question, so I struggled through that a lot. Like, should I fight for her? Should I cause a lot of trouble? Should I go over there, bring the police? And,
Right.
this is my time to spend with her. We've seen it on TV, and whether it be in TV, heck, we done seen it in real life. And our culture is not the most, see, you done opened up something that I really didn't kind of want to talk about, because I don't get this. I don't see how other cultures can have the uncle, the stepsister, the son and the sister and the stepmom and the stepfamily and the blended family, and they can all have a Christmas dinner, but you get a lot of us in the room. Nah, you gonna bring her, you bringing the new one, you bringing this, you bringing
everybody
that.
Fighting.
And even fellas. So I'm not even gonna try to put it all on the ladies.
Absolutely.
And the fellas too. Oh, ain't nobody gonna bring no daughter to be a father to my daughter, be a father to my, I'm like, dude, we can't even just be civil. We can't even just be civil. What up, Will? We can't even just be civil. Like,
What's up?
What's up, bro?
He come in from playing back. Did you win?
No, I ain't playing. I just
Oh, you just watching? You put some work in?
Yeah.
All right. So we can't even just be civil. Like, think about that. Like, well, we got to change the topic. No, he know. Can we even be civil? Like, we can't be civil for these kids, but other cultures can. And I'm not talking about, if y'all really want to talk about this topic, and I'm sorry, I don't mean to get excited about it, but it's messed up because y'all know we grew up in this in the era where your daddy lived right down the street. Your daddy lived 5 houses down, and you never knew he lived 5 houses down because you didn't have the internet and football. Miss Foster said, "What's up, William?" She said, "You got that basketball outside look."
Oh, what's up?
William said, "What's up?" But y'all know what I'm talking about when your daddy lived right down the street and he didn't want to see you. Or he, it's something that's messed up. It's messed up. And I've been told so many different things, like, you should write her a deep letter. And the girl is 11. Really, to be honest with you, she shouldn't even have a choice in this matter. Mm-hmm. But I would never know how it is to feel to be a young girl that needs her mother and needs her father. But and I'm going to say it, because the grown-up can't get their act together. They can't be civil. They can't get their mind right. They can't be 2 adults to just say, all right, our situation is done, but we need to be this way for our children. Mm-hmm. And it's like, it really blows my mind. Cut the, go in the kitchen. That fan will blow on you a lot better. You'll like it. All right, turn that one up. I turned it down. Uh-oh, you just hit the thing. you hit the thing. Now they can't see me. Ah, shucks. Hold on. All right, but anyway, my point is, I can still talk. Let me try this. If I can get this to work. All right, get out of there and get back in there. All right, let's see if I can start the key. Okay, there we go. So when the parents can't be right, and let's just be honest, we didn't, it didn't got bad. We done had a couple bad situations that should not have never happened. So it really does bother me when I talk about that, because a part of me wants to go over there and kind of kick down doors and be like, no, my daughter don't see me. But at the same token, I have to respect her. I do have to respect my ex in this view as well. And I'm not that. I'm William, right? And so, right. And I'm not trying to get any trouble. I don't. Nobody wants the police to be involved, but it is really messed up. So now I'll segue that into my situation with my father. So. If any of y'all saw the movie, it's somewhat accurate. My mom. No, I'm not gonna do that. Let's just say we have a complex situation when it comes to fathers and that. We'll say that. Right. So my father wasn't in the picture, but I'm gonna say it wasn't because he didn't want to be. All right. So now we take 18 years of me growing up. And so at the time, what happened is, have you thought about what's going on? Have you thought about going to counseling with her? If you're talking about my daughter, you know how I look at it, and you guys might not agree with me. But I'm gonna go there real quick. Sometimes God might take you out of the situation because you might do more damage being there than you would be not being there. And it makes you have to trust God. And I'm going to just say it like that. And that's a hard thing for me to process. That's a very hard. William knows it, so he knows I'm not saying anything. It's a very hard thing for me to process that it might be better for me not to be there than to be there and it be in such crazy terms. Because I've said it before, and I'm gonna tell the truth. The peace that I have now, I would not give it up for anything. When the Bible says, no, because it's a scripture that says it's better to be in on the roof in a wide desert than in a house with somebody. And but I'm just gonna leave it that way. Y'all Bible scholars know what I'm talking about. Y'all look that scripture up and y'all see what I'm talking about. But I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna be that guy that's gonna be disparaging. No, I get you, bro. I'm gonna have a standard and set the standard and do that. So we just had some differences and then things happen. So that's where I'm at with that. So now, back to the situation with my father. So let's just say, at the time I didn't know that. So then I'm 45 now. I think I met my father when I was 30 or 33. Now I did the same thing Amir did. I was like, I don't need him. Never thought I didn't need a man. Now at that time growing up, even though I'm very close with my uncles now, we've always been close, but we just didn't have proximity closeness. So it'd be like, they'll call me up, what's up? The family call me Mark and stuff. So like, what up, Mark? And stuff like that. And Uncle Drew and Uncle Greg, Uncle Glenn, who was very pivotal. Uncle Glenn was very pivotal in my life about some things, as well as Bishop Uncle Drew, and my Uncle Greg as well. These are three men, and Uncle Glenn as well, who were very pivotal in my life about just some topics and stuff. So when I finally get a chance to meet my father, I'll be honest, he came to the situation saying he was hesitant because he thought that everything that my mother put in me was going to be against him. So he was just like, I did what I had to do financially, and that's just enough for me. So, so we kind of phone tagged or email tagged for a minute. And then at the time I used to work for Comerica and I traveled a lot. I used to open up banks for Comerica. So I had to go to Texas where my father stays. And look at this irony. When I was in the Army and I wasn't talking to him, I was only stationed an hour and a half away from him and didn't know. It'd be stuff like that. Like I was at Fort Hood, he stays in another part of Texas. And I was there. I was in the Army for 5 years. Didn't even know it was the weirdest way I got his name. I knew his name was a certain way, but it was never coming up that way. Well, when I was about to go to Kuwait, we had to put all our next of kin if we died and all this type of stuff, who our fathers were. So I called Auntie and I was like, Auntie, Mama, blah, blah, blah. I need to find out. And she was like, this is his name. And what it was is I was always doing it backwards. So if his name was like, let's just say, because I'm not going to put him out there unless I talk to him about it. But let's just say we'll just use Kerry Foster. So if I kept saying Foster Kerry when his name was Kerry Foster. So I finally do all that. So anyway, so now fast forward, I'm out of the Army. I have an opportunity to go to Texas to do something. We meet up and we have a talk. And it's like the first 10 minutes, of course, is just like, whatever. I'm not really here.
It's a drag,
so what happened was, if you guys probably can see it. I got this little on my arm. I do that when I get nervous. I have this little. You see that little line that goes down on my arm? It's like two different skin tones. You probably can't see it, but anyway, it turns out that that's a family thing. Like all the men in the family. Yeah, Williams got it too. They just have it for some weird reason. So when I get nervous, I tend to talk. I tend to do this and I talk and I rub my arm. And so when his wife saw it, Mother Rita, who I love to death, she saw it. She was like, "Oh yeah," because I guess in his mind, even after this time, he's still kind of like, "Is he really? Is he for real?" So I'm drawing this out. I apologize, but anyway, so we get there. She's like, "Give me the book." And so my brother, that on that side of the family, he brings a book out, and this is what broke it for me. Okay, I totally broke down. I didn't cry though, but I just totally broke down. She said, "I want you to look at this book." She's like, when you go back to your room tonight, I want you to look at this book." And I said, "Well, forget it. I'm not going back. I want to see it now." Do you know I was born in 75. I think he couldn't be in a situation from like maybe 80 on. for the majority from 80 up until they met me, they put a Christmas stocking, like Mother Rita is really big into Christmas. I mean, like, you know, Christmas lady. Mm-hmm. And every year they had a stocking on the tree, on the tree or on the fireplace with my name in it. They had cards that they would try to send, and early on my mother would send them back. There was like different things that he would do. Then when I got a chance, that really, like, dude, you actually represent. It wasn't like I was some, you know, mistake or something. We just couldn't hang out. When I finally then got a chance to come back and meet the rest of the family, they knew me. It was like, oh, you the one from Michigan, right? Yeah, you the one right, Carrie. So they included me, right? So it was like, I didn't know that all the time they were including me. So that really touched me and made me. Now, yeah, I'm still gonna. Now it's not like me and my dad are ace boom coon, because we missed out on some of that time. But he was very pivotal in a lot of decisions going forward that I made, and I go down to Texas every time and see him. We just haven't seen him because of the pandemic and everything, but that's something. And so growing up without a father for a very long period of time, and then having one that is so integral in some things is very different. So I appreciate you explaining that, Amir, and I hope that answered your question, Ms. Foster. I definitely, you know, I'll answer those questions and stuff, but that's just something I'm thinking of. So how are you with your dad's side now? Him? Oh, we tighter than tight. Like my nephew is a pretty good baseball player down there. We see him on Facebook all the time. Mother Rita is, and I'm gonna say it this way because it's the truth. She's the whitest lady I know to look like a black woman. That woman can cook. I mean, she can throw down pound cake. We be going down there killing it. Everybody love Grandma Rita's stuff, and she's a sweetheart too. She's a sweetheart. But we're definitely, and it's funny because our lives mirrored each other with some of the situations that happened and things of that nature. So it is something that, like I said, I love what Amir said earlier too about y'all think that we over there being tough. If you don't think that divorce shook me, or a breakup shakes a guy, that we don't go back and recontemplate and rethink about, like, did I do everything I could? Did I say it the right way? Did I do what I was supposed to do? I mean, it get crazy. You start saying stuff like, did I lay the pipe like I was supposed to? Or is there somebody else? Or was I strong enough as a man? You know, did I try to teach this person? Did I try to grow this person? Did they try to grow me? I mean, I know there's been many situations where you felt like you upgraded the other person. And then as another thing is like you figure out, like, as one of the things that you think about, and I go through a lot being a father, especially with this guy right here, is, do I even have the tools to teach him things? Like, I think about that a lot. I sit up a lot of times at night and I pray about that. Like, do I have enough of the tools to teach him what it takes to be a man when nobody sat down to develop me? Carrie Foster got a question with you too, Amir. They said, after your situation, did you stay in touch with his side of the family?
Absolutely. My father's first cousin, his family and I are actually very, very close. Like, we go to the same church. That's how my mom and my dad actually met, through my family, through church. So we all go to the same church. So we're very close. Wouldn't trade him for the world. Wherever my father lacked, I would say my stepmom picked up. So she was always in charge of helping me get to know my father's side. So if my father didn't, she would, and be like, you need to know your cousin, you need to know your aunt, you need to know your uncle. So shout out to her for doing that. But yeah, most definitely, we're still in touch, still very cool.
Now, I'm not for sure if we're getting close on time, but I think we only have like an hour and a half. So
yeah, we got like 8 minutes.
Oh, we got 8 minutes. Okay, great. So I think we'll get ready to shut it down. Again, ladies and gents, as always, it's a true pleasure to be able to talk with you guys and speak with you guys, and just being able to allow us to do it. Seriously, you guys just got to give Amir his props. Amir's really taking the ball this month, and he's devised some things, and I'm looking forward to it. I'm here to support. I'm here. You know, I love that guy. I have no problem saying I love that guy. And that's a guy that, I hope you know, that we can continue to have a long-lasting friendship. And so he can impart some things on that guy. So he can impart some things on that guy back there. And and it do. I appreciate you guys too, even for the questions. You know, again, one of the things I do love, and I'm gonna shut it down really quick more. I appreciate the thoughtful questions, not no foolishness, not no pettiness.
Absolutely.
I know we laugh a lot and we make light of some things because I know as guys sometimes they say that we kind of hide some of our pain and our laughter.
Yeah, that's our coping mechanism. Yeah, it's
kind of a coping mechanism, and I think that's where me and Amir bond because we both do that. But I really appreciate you guys, even and I'm gonna say since Kari was the one that kind of went there at least with me. I appreciate you asking those questions. I'm not being afraid and not doing it, and I hope I answered your question. And I appreciate you being very poignant about it and just asking the question. And I appreciate everybody that's on here that has offered any insight or any question. We appreciate the adultness of it. Again, if there's any parents and there were kids on here, we apologize. We didn't mean to offend. Hope we didn't. We try to preface some of the conversations that we do talk, but that's that. Amir, you got anything you want to say, sir?
No, I just want to say thank you, bro, for always being here, always listening, always being a great role model, a great example. Couldn't do it without you, man. You already know. I love you.
Couldn't do it without y'all. And then, you know, and the quiet one in the background, is she gonna pop up before she goes? She probably in her bed. Is she in the bed? Dang, I knew it! That's my girl! That's my girl. You so pretty. You so precious.
Thank you.
So precious. Man, I love you, Gabby. I do.
I love you too.
You are my girl. But seriously, and again, I keep saying it. We got to give shout outs to our founder. Without her, we wouldn't even be able to have this. The lovely Mrs. Chisholm, and to our VP in charge of technical duties, because without her, without Gabby, seriously, Gabby, I know we keep saying it every time, and I'm gonna keep saying it every time. Without you, because I know you be listening to like 20 million conversations, ready to fall asleep, and yet you still be holding it strong. So with that, we're gonna go ahead and end. Please, everybody, be safe. Continue to stay prayed up. If you're not praying for yourself, get somebody to pray for you. And I'll be praying for you if you can. And stay encouraged. Again, I'm glad we got Gabby and Amir on here because they both are big mental health people. And it is the truth. We have to protect our mental health. We don't want to grow up with a whole nother generation of people who if they need help, won't be strong enough to ask for it. Okay, so guys, again, love you all. Be safe until we see you again. All right, TechKeyz.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye, guys.
Walking down the road of life, we try to change.